Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today I'm going to be doing my wrap-up for the second half of September, and these are the 4 books that I finished in the second round. I will be talking about each of them a little bit in depth, but none of them really intensely. I have one that I will be doing a full in-depth review on, and the rest of them will just be spoken about here. So the first book that I finished was my 600 to 1,000 page book of the month. This is the Swan Thieves. This one was actually, for the sake of honesty, 564 pages. But I had a lot of stuff going on this month, so I couldn't find a 600-page book that I wanted to read. And this one just kind of fit the bill for that. So this is the only month that I have missed a 600 to 1,000 page book so far. And so I am okay with that. I feel a little bit guilty, but I'm okay with it. So this is the story of a painter, Robert Oliver, who attacks a painting at a national gallery and is then sent to a therapist. You follow the story through the eyes of several different characters, one of which is the therapist, as he tries to break down Oliver's guards and talk to him about why he attacked this painting and what he planned to get out of it. It is a really interesting book. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't love it. I felt as though there were parts of it that kind of lagged and could have been shortened. I also felt that in certain aspects of it that there was moments where I was feeling overwhelmed with description, and I didn't really enjoy that because it wasn't like beautiful, well-developed description. It just felt like basic description. So I did enjoy this. I will be keeping it on my shelf, and I definitely do think that it's a good book. I would recommend it to people who like books that are a little quicker paced, a little easier, and a little bit less flowery written. I definitely think that it's for those who enjoy a mystery and something that's kind of a little darker, and I definitely think it is a good book. I just don't think it's my favorite book. Then I read Sip by Brian Allen Carr. This is an interesting story. So this book is a dystopian world in which people are addicted to drinking shadows. Now, you can either be a person who drinks shadows because you got yourself addicted, or you can be a person who drinks shadows because your shadow was drunk and you now need to replace and replenish your own shadow. This world is divided up into 2 cultures, one without shadows who are trying to survive on other shadows, and one which still has their shadows and is trying to protect their own shadows. This story is well developed, really well executed, and has a really good world building to it. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a solid 4 stars, 3.54. I definitely would recommend this if you're interested in a good dystopian with a really interesting premise. And I think that there is a really in-depth characters that you just love and really fall for and find a lot of compassion for and a lot of admiration for, even though they have some very negative traits in spite of themselves. I really enjoyed it, and I recommend it, surely. This is the book that I will be doing a full in-depth review on. This is A Dream Between Two Rivers, and it's by K.L. Pereira, and I loved this book. I was lucky enough to meet the author last night and have her sign my book. This is a wonderful mixture of short stories and flash fiction. It's anything from 500 to 5,000 words per story. I really enjoyed it. I think my 2 favorite stories were Hansel and Gretel and Pompeii. And yes, Hansel and Gretel, Pompeii, and the very first story. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's a really beautiful collection. I think that it's really well done. It is compared to Angela Carter and Karen Russell, which is a deserved praise, and I can't wait to introduce you a little bit more to it with a reading from the author in the full in-depth review. And then last, I read Geek Love by Catherine Dunn. This started off as a buddy read with Stephanie. I will link her channel down below. She was very sweet, but she was not really in the mood to read this book, so I continued on by myself. I gave this book 4.5 5 stars. I thought it was beautifully done, really, really dark, really, really descriptive. It is completely grotesque and gritty and gruesome. The story follows a group of carnival folk who are a family, and the mother takes different chemicals to make her children be born deformed so that they can make more money within the circus. It is abusive. It is really, really raw, and it definitely made me cringe and uncomfortable at many different points. I think for me, this book will definitely stay on my shelf for a long time, if not forever. This one is something I will want to go back and reread, but I will definitely have to be in the right mindset to do so, because it made me so uncomfortable, and it was so worth it, but it was definitely something that I needed to be prepped for a little bit to kind of go into. When I went into it, I knew it was going to be grotesque and gruesome, so I was able to stomach it, but if I had gone in without that information, I would have been completely shocked by what I had read, and I would not have been able to finish it. So definitely go into this with an open mind and understand that you're getting into some really gruesome and grotesque stories. So those are the 4 books that I finished for the second half of September, and I will see you all in my next video.